Welcome back. You're watching Breaking News right here on CNN News 18. We have breaking news now coming in regarding comments made by a union minister. Senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, as you'll be aware, has been present in the UK over the last few days. He first gave a lecture at Cambridge University. On Saturday, he met with the Indian Journalists Association in London. And in both meetings, he made multiple statements in which he launched attacks on the BJP government in the country, essentially saying that they had made it impossible to run a democracy. He'd also said that opposition parties were under pressure and that the media was entirely under the BJP's control. Hitting back at this blitzkrieg of comments that Gandhi has made against the BJP, you now have the Union Minister, Anurag Thakur. He has slammed the Congress leader. He said, and I quote, "To hide his failure, Gandhi is restored to defaming India." The Union Minister went on to say nobody is going to believe Rahul Gandhi and he should not betray India. Remember, the BJP has tried to say that Gandhi and even going to the UK and making these attacks is betraying the country. In the meanwhile, the Congress has questioned why there is anything wrong in travelling abroad while having lectures and conversations. I'll take you very quickly to what the Union Minister had to say, then we'll connect with a colleague for more details.
राहुल गांधी विवादों की आंधी बन चुके हैं। विदेशी दोस्त हों, विदेशी एजेंसियां हों, विदेशी चैनल हों या फिर विदेशी जमी हो, किसी का भी दुरुपयोग करके भारत को बदनाम करने का कोई मौका नहीं छोड़ रहे। मुझे लगता है अपनी नाकामियों को छिपाने के लिए एक सुनियोजित तरीके से विदेशी सरजमीन से राहुल गांधी जी ने भारत को बदनाम करने का ठेका ले रखा है। उनकी भाषा, उनके विचार, उनकी कार्यशैली सब कुछ संदिग्ध सी है और अगर ये पहला समय नहीं, ये बार-बार राहुल जी ने किया है।
Our colleague, our political editor, Maria Shakil, she's with us right now for more context on this story. Maria, we spoke earlier to Pallavi Ghosh, our senior editor, and she was pointing out that the main rebuttal that the Congress has come up with so far is, look, many BJP leaders, including very senior BJP leaders, have done this too. They've gone abroad and criticized the government in power. What is wrong in Gandhi doing the same? Are we going to see the BJP directly address that response?
Not really, because what Anurag Thakur, the Gandhi minister, has said is essentially to do with the questions that are being raised by, several within India about why is Rahul Gandhi particularly talking about democracy not functioning properly, democracy being weakened in India and institutions compromised while he has traveled abroad. If you look at one of the clips that is doing the rounds, it also talks about how one of the journalists during the interaction questioned Mr. Gandhi and said that despite his grandmother, late Indira Gandhi, having suffered during who was jailed and had gone to the UK during an interaction when she was questioned, particularly in that context, she said, "I don't want to speak about it because that defames my country." So why is Rahul Gandhi using a platform such as this nature, going abroad and saying that institutions are compromised in India? I think this is going to be the larger narrative going ahead, because we have seen increasingly that the BJP has questioned Rahul Gandhi on this context, that you do not take your politics seriously in India, and when you are traveling abroad, you should be speaking in one voice. Particularly, Toya, this is coming at a time that India has G20 presidency,
right.
And the G20 presidency comes a greater responsibility in terms of the world watching India. With the world watching towards India for setting the agenda going ahead, a senior politician of Rahul Gandhi's stature goes ahead and says that the mother of democracy, which is proudly hosting G20, is actually a compromised democracy. That in itself raises questions.
Sure. All right. Maria Shakil, thank you for bringing us that context. We're going to move on now. First, we're going to show you reactions to this story. Then we'll move on to others.
How would you react if something, a structure 3.5 times Europe suddenly went non-democratic? But there's no reaction. And if we're talking about Europe, that's the thing that shocks me. And of course, there are reasons for there not being a reaction. There is sort of trade and there is money and stuff like that. But Indian democracy is a public good. So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious. If you noticed a statement of the foreign minister He said China is much more powerful than us. If China is much more powerful than us, how can I pick a fight with them? Matlab, at the heart of the ideology is cowardice. Same happens in Parliament House. When there are important things that we need to speak about, demonetization, GST, the fact that the Chinese are sitting inside our territory, when we try to raise these questions, we're not allowed to raise them in the House. It's a fact. It's shameful, but it's true.